I've taken 2 days off from clips because I've been addicted to Slay the Spire and I'm practicing for an Age of Empires show match. But enough stuff has happened in the world that it's dragged me back in. I have stuff to talk about. Now, it's Sunday night when I normally don't stream, and we're already seeing the Asian market. South Korea and Japan are triggering circuit breakers as they sink 8% plus. Okay? We're seeing huge panic in the Asian markets, which means likely by the time you see this clip or you're looking at the stock market on Monday, we're on a down day. We're in a red day. And even looking as a few days ago as a signal, the Dow just had its worst week since April for 2 reasons that I've blacked out. Now, I know you guys are panicking because we're all worried about the Dow. Here in America, the only thing that matters is the Dow. Okay? We don't care about arresting pedophiles.
The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000.
All right. Now, there's 2 major reasons that we're seeing all this chaos and tumult. Okay? And I'm going to go through both of them. But it may be a secret third reason, which is the Pam Bondi curse, because the moment she said this, the Dow went under 50,000 and it's been in free fall. Yeah, it's been absolute free fall from that moment. That was the peak. She top ticked it, actually. But the 2 actual reasons are pretty simple. Jobs and oil. Which one do you want to talk about first? Or I can go in either order here. Which one do you want to talk about first? Jobs and oil. All right, we're starting with jobs. Jobs. Okay. Now, there's been a pattern when we cover jobs reports here in the United States. I've covered almost every one on this channel, and there's a pattern. First, the jobs report comes out. Let's use last month. Let's use January's as an example. The jobs report comes out, and everyone's like, holy shit, it's actually good? Wait a minute. They always say stronger than expected. They always say a surprise surge. They always say the labor market's finally turning around. They always go, oh my God, we're hiring is the photo. Wait, things are looking up. Then the Department of Labor comes out because it's become politicized and says January job growth shattered expectations. The Trump economy is delivering for Americans. By the way, the Labor Department never used to talk like this. It's supposed to be an apolitical, stats-based. Anyway, they said, oh my God, everything's looking great. Then all the news media backs it up. Trump gets a spot of good news from delayed January jobs report. It smashes expectations. Payrolls grow by 130,000. And they always bury in there that, well, okay, this report is great, but it also includes revisions to the last report we said was great. And those are way less. And so every single time I have to make a video, usually like this. Like this is what I said last time. Layoffs regularly. So please do not believe the fucking headline here that everything's bad. I mean, nobody believes it anymore. No one believes it. And especially because they said we're not going to release the numbers and they did release the numbers and then there's something good. It all feels very massaged. But even the massage numbers show rising unemployment, only a few sectors of growth, and overall deterioration. So this has been a theme over and over and over. And I say these key principles, just like, hey, the headline number might be good, but very likely it's getting revised down. And the few areas that are still growing are hospitality and healthcare. Everything else is shrinking. So even if you trust these numbers, they're not so good. And this number is going to keep ticking up. I say the unemployment number. That's what I've been saying. Okay. And this is not some miracle prediction because you see the orange here is when it's revised down and the blue here is when it's revised up. You'll notice it's just been nonstop downward revisions for like 3 years straight. At this point, it's not like if the roulette wheel is red every time and I say it's going to be red, it's not some miracle, dude. It's just that you're seeing over and over again, they keep revising it down. By the way, though, this spot right here is when I made slowly all at once. And we're seeing downward, downward, downward. Now, look at the last times we've seen consistent downward revisions in a row. 2020, 2007, 2001. 3 recessions. 3 recessions were the last time we saw in a row downward, 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 downward revisions. But the important thing about this jobs report is that it bucks this trend. Instead of being a good headline number that later gets revised down, this one actually made me worry. This one actually kind of broke the system. This actually feels like holy shit because this one was bad right away. This one started bad. This one comes out and the headline number is 92,000 jobs down. Unexpected. Headlines were like, this is so unexpected, so crazy. Unexpected downturn. And what's even scarier is that, at the very least, I thought, well, at least healthcare is growing. At least you can get a job on the new Scrubs reboot. Okay? If that show can't die, the healthcare industry is still a place where you can get jobs. However, even that finally cracked. Healthcare jobs have carried the US labor market for more than a year. However, in this one, healthcare and education jobs fell. For the first time, even that last pillar kind of holding up the non-AI sector of the economy from growing, cracked. So this is a horrible jobs report. And, despite not really being shocking based on what we've been saying in previous jobs reports videos, like the overall media consensus is that this is a shockingly bad jobs report, especially for the first pass, because it likely will get revised down further from here, which means they're going to take a negative 88K number and make it worse. We're in uncharted territory, okay? By the way, it also included revisions for those last jobs report we talked about. Both January and December got revised down. Okay? So this overall was one of the worst job reports I've seen. And you can clearly see when you zoom out that we're seeing a massive deceleration in the labor market. We're in a spotty, bad area. From here, if it were to get worse, that's unemployment that is chaos levels across America. However, that's a tough challenge. Thankfully, though, that's the only major challenge facing the American economy right now. There's nothing else that could be an exogenous shock to cause anything to get worse, okay? Thankfully, this is the only problem we have to worry about, because it would really suck if something else happened. If that happened, then we'd have to talk about oil, which is the second reason I'm sort of waking up to panicking.